Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at making full and rich melodies for your beats or to sound out to producers. Too often I hear melodies with not enough layers or melodies with layers kind of overlapping each other, making everything sound a bit muddy. So today I'm going to show you how I go about making my melodies to make sure they sound clear but still full. This is basically a 5-step process, but I encourage you to play about with all these steps so you can get creative and make some awesome beats. So let's get straight into it with step number 1. So the first thing I do is lay out a solid chord progression, alright? For this, we're looking at a sound of kind of medium sustain, maybe some sort of piano, keys, Rhodes. In this specific example, I'm just going with a simple grand piano. So there are many chord progressions you can try out. Here I'm going for a 4-5-6-1 in the key of C. That's F major to G major to A minor to C major. Now when we're making these chord progressions, you don't want to just write out the chords, but you want to kind of make them a bit interesting. So add different intervals, add the bass notes, make these chords sound very full. If they end up interfering with other instruments later, you can always come back and modify them. Once you have a chord progression that you like the sound of, we can move on to step 2. And this is creating the top melody. So for this, you can either choose a different sound or even just go with the same one. I don't have any specific formula to come up with melodies. I'm just kind of writing down the notes that come to my head while I'm listening to the chord progression. I try not to use too many notes to just make it sound nice and chilled out. And if you have, for example, a 16-bar loop, remember to add some variation in the second 8 bars over the first 8 bars, just so it doesn't get too repetitive. So now you should have a beautiful pop melody accompanied by some chilled out chords. Step 3 for me is all about filling out the chords that we created in step 1. Creating an atmosphere for a track, a nice foundation to fill in any gaps. And for this, I'm choosing a pad sound. To make sure you aren't interfering too much with the original chords, try changing the octave either higher or lower. I keep this layer quite low volume because I still want my step 1 chords to stand out more. For me, you shouldn't really be able to hear this layer, but if I take it out, you will notice a difference. Alright, I say we can move on to step 4, which is adding some bass. So I'm just choosing a synth bass patch, which I know works well because I've used before. This will create a nice foundation with low frequencies to fully fill out that frequency spectrum. Once you're happy with your bass line, it's time to add some ambience. This could be some sort of sustained vocal melody or a high synth or some strings. In this case, I'm taking out my guitar and recording some notes of a scale. To make this even more ambient, I'm reversing every single note of the melody I created and adding a lot of reverb and delay so it kind of sounds like birds in the background. So at this point I'll probably start working the drums for the track, but that'll be for another video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel to not miss out on them. Before we finish, I'm just going to add some slight vinyl crackle. That concludes my basic melody making process. So try out these steps, let me know how it goes down in the comments. I'd love to hear how you guys normally make your melodies and how you find my approach. And for now, stay hungry and stay fresh. I'll catch you later, guys.